he gets his inheritance this afternoon. That's why we're moving. We're gonna pay all our bills off that we need to pay off and then take a long vacation.
They called it a love story until a hidden substance turned it into a crime. In Minot, North Dakota, Stephen Riley never lived long enough to receive his inheritance. What followed could fill an entire criminal documentary. Ina Thea Kenoyer boasts that a huge payout is due this afternoon. Within a day, Ina Thea Kenoyer's husband, Stephen, was airlifted after suffering a stroke. He passed away after just 1 hour at the hospital.
I thought everybody knew. I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
What the police didn't realize at the time was that Ina had extraordinary emotional control. Every tear, every statement was staged. She knew Stephen's illness. Less than an hour before he was due to receive his $37 million inheritance, Stephen collapsed. The pain was sudden, severe, and no one expected those to be his last moments. In the weeks that followed, the police uncovered the disturbing truth. Stephen had been exposed to a toxic substance. It was no longer just a tragedy. It was a criminal documentary playing out in real time. And then one by one, everyone in his inner circle, friends, lovers, relatives, became aware of their reasons for wanting the money. Body cam from the night before. Police respond to a drunken neighbor. The clip later matters for Ina's money claims.
Like 20-something million. Best thing you can do is get on a plane and don't look back.
Police department! It's the police department, it's not Chad!
About 4 a.m., September 3rd, MOPD responds for a drunken neighbor, Chad. After a brief clash with Stephen, Chad wanders off. Officers meet Ina at apartment 912A.
Hi.
You thought it was Chad?
Yeah.
Who was
He's
Chad on?
trying to kick in everybody's door.
Who was he
He
out here
busted
fighting?
to my light and look at the garbage cans.
Who was he fighting with out here?
My fiance, he went for a walk, cool down.
Who's your fiance?
Steve Riley.
Steve Riley?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
I'm Ina.
Okay. Is your fiance hurt at all?
He got gash on his forehead.
Okay. You know, we just want to talk with him too, just to make sure he's all right if possible. There's blood all the way over there. That's good. So what actually happened tonight? What were they fighting over?
Chad was trying to kick in the door.
Just for no reason, or just
Drunk. He does that.
Where do you think your fiance would have went, so we could just get his side of the story real quick?
Oh, I don't know.
Does he got a phone on him?
No, we don't have a phone until this afternoon.
Ina identifies Stephen as her fiancé and shifts the conversation toward other matters she clearly cares about more. Unprompted, she touts an imminent inheritance and a plan to move, clear fines, and be done with bills. According to Ina, Stephen will soon receive a huge amount of money from his late uncle. However, Stephen will never have the chance to see that money again. In 2016, Stephen's friend received a call from a man named Marcus Riley, who claimed to be Stephen's long-lost uncle from Ireland. Marcus said he wanted to reconnect with his family, and it was from there that Stephen learned that he would inherit more than $17 million when his uncle died. Enough money to end all the financial hardships he and Ina had ever experienced. 4 months before the clip you just saw, Stephen received news of his uncle's death from a British lawyer. From him, Stephen learned that the inheritance had now grown to more than $30 million, thanks to investments. Ina couldn't hide her pride, bragging to the police that tomorrow they would sign over the money and move to Ireland, living in a castle, as she put it. As the night fell and the police left, Ina let out one last excited sentence. Her life was about to change forever.
If you want to step back inside, and then if Steve shows back up, we're going to try to look for him to get his side of the story as well. But if Steve shows back up, if you just want to give us a call or have him give us a call, we'll talk to him then, okay?
Yeah, he's gonna stop by anyways, like I said.
Sounds good.
I've only been able to put like $5 on his fines, but at least it was something.
Okay,
But-
sounds good.
We're gonna pay it all off, all at once.
Perfect, thank you.
He volunteers that a lawyer is flying in at 2 p.m. so Stephen can sign, clear debts, and take a trip. They will be traveling with two close friends, Billy and Wes. Neither of them knows that this trip will be the final turning point. While the group was waiting for the lawyer to arrive, Stephen began to feel dizzy. He complained of being drunk and rushed to the bathroom to vomit. Within minutes, his heart rate was abnormally high and his breathing was labored. Wes drives him home. The lawyer never appears. Overnight, Stephen worsens. By morning, he's unresponsive. Ina calls 911.
911.
What?
If you're emergency.
My husband's really sick. He got heat stroke yesterday, and now he's not waking up. And come on, wake up!
What's the phone number
Hey!
you're calling from?
I don't have a phone number. It's a phone that never got finished getting set up. Come on, babe. I've been trying everything. Ice, water.
Okay, but he is breathing.
Yes, he's snoring. He won't talk to me anymore. He won't look at me. He won't open his eyes.
Okay,
Hey!
I've got help on the way. Just keep an eye on his breathing, and if anything changes with his breathing, tell me immediately.
Police find him unconscious amid heavy clutter. He's rushed locally, then flown to a larger hospital.
Yeah. It's Officer Sullivan, MOPD.
Yeah, hang on.
Billy tells police he doubts heat stroke. Stephen seemed fine until the airport. Medics are told Stephen had been drinking until 5 a.m., then missed again rescheduled meetings at 8 p.m. He's hospitalized and dies hours later. This is Billy Burkhead, Ina and Stephen's neighbor. Billy says Stephen had been upbeat and sober that day. Heat stroke and heavy drinking don't fit what he saw. I don't believe it was heat stroke. I think she poisoned him. The next morning, Billy called the police back to apartment 912A to recount in detail what he had witnessed and the unusual things he remembered.
We think she poisoned him. Oh, I'm almost sure she poisoned him.
So what's your plan right now?
We're making sure nothing goes. Because you know when they go to jail, they die.
I mean,
People come and clean
how
out.
long are you going to stay here?
Stay here until the sun gets here.
Oh. When's the sun supposed to get here?
I'm not dead. I told you.
He
Stop!
He's not.
He's dead.
I just told the sun.
And he was poisoned.
Billy's testimony opened a new line of inquiry that the detectives could not ignore. Why would Ina want to poison her husband if they were going to live such a good life? Billy seems to have the correct answer to that question. Billy accuses Ina of poisoning, vows to protect Stephen's truck until Stephen's son arrives. Introducing, he says, Ina started tossing Stephen's belongings, claims she never actually sought care for him that night. But here's the most surprising twist. Ina overheard it all, and in telling Billy, she planted a thought in his head that would change the course of the investigation forever.
I'm taking off. I'm not worthy of telling my husband. Dead or alive.
Hey, stay out here. Hey, stay out
I need to take a picture.
here. Picture what?
Billy.
Why'd
Here,
why'd
with truck.
Oh, you can sit over here.
Steve collapsed yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the hospital. I found out he was poisoned.
How'd you find that out?
Doctor told me. I'm just telling your son, don't ever stop after these people. They're nasty people. They're nasty.
Ina confronts Billy, blames nasty neighbors. An officer inadvertently tells Ina Stephen has died. Her reaction appears inconsistent, brief tears, then back to practical talk. Billy wasn't the only one who suspected Ina. In fact, many others began to question her true role in Stephen's death.
Hi.
Yeah. He came in.
Okay, what's going on?
I don't know.
We've been here.
He keeps trying to take Steve's truck
Where's the truck at?
in the garage.
Is this the paperwork on the thing? Or?
No. This is property that Steve was buying
Oh.
after his inheritance got here. I think he left it to his son, but I had to Google where to go to get his inheritance switched over to the people he left it to. I don't know. The day he was supposed to meet his lawyer, apparently, I thought it was heat stroke. Apparently he was poisoned. I'm finding out. With antifreeze.
Alright.
And I don't know how to get a hold of the guy in London with his inheritance. He should be here in town. He never showed up at the airport, so yeah. Trying to figure out why.
At the same time, Billy's wife Lynn revealed a twist in the case. If she had really killed him, the simplest method would have been to poison him with antifreeze. Blood tests revealed the truth. Ethylene glycol tests later confirmed ethylene glycol traces consistent with antifreeze exposure. And that was the moment the investigation into Stephen officially began.
I thought everybody knew. I'm sorry.
Don't tell me anything. Oh my God!
I guess his son is on his way here. Okay. Apparently his son is on the way here. So.
All involved, including Ina, were questioned. Sensing imminent danger, she took the initiative to call the police back to apartment 912A the next day to present her hypothesis. Ina comes up with theories, self-poisoning or a third party, while also trying to gain control of Stephen assets. Detectives expand interviews. Rebecca, the neighbor, provides colorful but uneven information. From here, a series of unusual signs appear, revealing the odd part of Rebecca's personality. But the detective isn't here to judge, he's here to find out the truth behind Stephen's death, so put all preconceptions aside.
You guys know my daughter?
Yeah, how's she doing?
Yesterday, God works in mysterious ways. She was arrested, released. She said, this is, the demons that are in her, the spirits that follow her, was able to change her butt cheeks. So maybe they'll stop following her now, she said.
Yeah, well, hopefully she gets the help she needs.
I pray she does.
Over the past few months, Stephen's life seemed to be more complicated than anyone thought. He was dealing with diet pills, drugs, and possibly depression. Whether Rebecca knew it or not, it was a chain of events that sent things spiraling downward. And it was these details that, through today's interview, would become crucial evidence, laying the groundwork to completely disprove her defense later on.
Might know something.
I'm a nosy neighbor.
That's good. I like it.
Well, I know what cars belong, what cars don't, who lives in my neighborhood, who doesn't.
Yeah.
So yes.
That's good. We're investigating Steve's passing just because it sounds like maybe there's something
I
suspicious about
all
what
I
happened.
know, whatever I know.
How long have Steve and Ina lived there that you know of?
Approximately 2 years.
Okay. How was their relationship that you know?
The first year was, Steve was looking great, doing great. The past year, I don't know if she suffers from mental illness at times, but her mental state went downhill the past year.
Okay.
When you lose weight, when you're not acting right, shady stuff going on, you're not working. Yes, he was.
You think
And it got worse the past couple months.
Okay.
Rebecca says both drank. Stephen minimized the true sum when discussing the money. Claims Stephen changed a will away from Ina after fights and planned to leave her.
You think
And it got worse the past couple months.
you think likely that theme
Probably.
like whatever. Okay.
Yes.
What do you think she was using?
Yeah.
Okay.
And alcohol use too.
Okay.
Yes.
Both of them with
Yes.
alcohol? Okay. So Steve had mentioned before, like in the past, about getting money.
Yes.
How many, like,
2 million.
one of his uncles?
His uncle passed away. Yes. First, he said he was going to leave it to Ina, and then they were fighting. And a couple months later, he said he went back and changed the will. He told me, he was like, "Don't tell Ina, but I changed it."
Wes details Ina controlled the day Steve fell sick. Steve kept saying he felt drunk despite not drinking and sipped only water at the airport. Ina claimed decades in nursing to justify home care, a timeline that doesn't add up.
Because it started 5 months and he told me, yeah, I got a will, I'm leaving everything to Ina if something happens. And then it seemed like 2 months after that, he's like, that ain't getting nothing. Because she's a bitch, he said.
So that was just it.
Yeah, that's how yeah.
Was he ever talking about leaving Ina?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to get this money and leave her, get my own place, go back to California.
Okay.
I met her son last night.
Oh, okay. Her son came?
No, I'm sorry, his son. Steve's son.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
He flew in. He came up to my apartment. But as he's leaving, she came up, knocked on my door.
When he was up there?
Yeah,
okay.
to get him. I think she was nervous. It was like she was pissed he was up there. And then she's like, I just want to let you know I found the will papers.
So she said in front of you, though, that she found will papers?
Yes. Yep.
Either obsessed over the incoming fortune, fear of losing access grew as rumors spread. The next day, 2 more reliable sources emerged: Stephen's son, Ryan, and his close friend, Billy Burkhead. If anyone knew Stephen's life better than anyone else, it was these two, the people closest to him in his final years.
We're assigned the case of your dad's passing. You're really the only next of kin that's maybe had a relationship with your dad, it sounds like?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he ever talk to you about Ina when you guys talked in the last year?
Yeah. He was talking about how he was getting a large sum of money and he kind of just wanted to leave her because she didn't really have a job and was like leeching off of him.
Did Steve ever talk about leaving Ina?
All the time. Every day. She talked about poisoning Steve and me because we're always together, and she didn't like that. And I don't know how much it was. It's supposed to be, it's way up there in the money. It was like 20-something million. Best thing you can do is get on a plane and don't look back.
Yeah.
I said, that's the best thing you can do.
Stephen's son Ryan confirms Stephen planned to leave Ina after the payout. Billy echoes this and says Ina spoke of poisoning. Detectives tell Ryan the inheritance appears to be a scam. No lawyer shows, emails bounce, documents look bogus.
So this inheritance now, I'm thinking that's the same thing we're thinking. Which, I mean, I don't, obviously I'm not sure, but by all accounts of looking at it, it looks like it's a scam. Looks like it's the letter has different fonts in it and things, and so, and the fact that your dad had gone there several times, maybe some never showed up to the airport.
That and all the emails that they tried to send back to the sender of those emails, it always came back undeliverable.
For the past 7 years, Stephen believed that if he just persevered, he would turn his life around and enjoy a life of luxury. But ironically, the scam that had him trapped for all those years may have contributed to his death. Detectives continue to question more suspects to find out the truth. Formal interview. Ina describes a 13-year relationship, quickly shifts to blaming others, Billy, Lynn, and revises drug history. As the police try to piece together the story between Ina and Stephen, Ina makes a new move. She secretly plots a plot, turning all eyes to Billy and the others, though she wants to replace her as suspect. There was no doubt she was lying. The averted eyes, the hand picking at her skin, the slurred speech, all of it betrayed a falsehood. Remember these signs because during the interrogation, every little movement would reveal when Ina was hiding something. Now was the time for the police to ask the most important question.
So, like I said, we have been just talking to everyone, like Billy, Russ, everybody that kind of just knew Steve, just to get an idea of like what was going on in his life. So you and Steve were in a relationship?
Yep.
Okay, how long had you guys been together?
13 years.
Okay. Where did you guys meet?
Homeless shelter.
In
buffet dinner.
In North Dakota?
Washington.
In Washington, okay.
She outlines the supposed inheritance, London lawyer, and dramatic legends around the Riley money.
And I begged him to, stay away from him. We've even gotten into fights.
To stay away from Lynn?
Billy and Lynn. And
okay.
I don't like calling people nasty. And they've seen them worse than Steve because he's tall and mean looking. People were intimidated by him.
Okay.
Just by his look.
So why would you want him to stay away from Billy and Lynn?
Because they're really, really nasty people. Okay. Felonies. Breaking into places. I knew they did more than pot. Smoking more than pot.
Did Steve smoke more than marijuana?
No, he's allergic to marijuana.
Okay.
Me.
Did he use other drugs?
Not for the longest time.
Was he using?
No.
Okay. So
no.
He didn't.
After that, after he got the max the last time.
Yep.
He's like, screw this.
Okay.
I'm gonna just do what I want and want what I want.
Okay. So that's when he started using?
I think so.
Okay.
Her timeline wobbles, now claims Stephen didn't go to the airport that day. Wes did. Because Stephen was drinking and spray painting in a closed garage. She adds he had only water and iced tea. Toxicology later shows no alcohol.
So when did he find out about this inheritance?
I want to say 4 months ago.
Okay. So what is the inheritance? I know you had shown that first day Lieutenant Dake and I came, you showed us kind of that letter that was on Steve's phone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that's the inheritance? That was the letter? Okay.
And he was talking to an actual lawyer, I guess.
Okay.
From London.
So this lawyer reached out to him and said he's...
I guess. I don't even know how he found out about it. It just appeared. And he was reading that the money wasn't cursed or whatever. Every single person that went for the Riley money over there, even this 21-year-old, had passed away.
Detective confronts inconsistencies, body cam statements, Wes's arrival order. Ina asks for a lawyer. Interview stops. Unfortunately for her, the police obtained a search warrant for apartment 912A.
Because he was drinking beer all day, he was working in the garage, he was spray painting his truck, with the doors and the windows closed, barely drinking any water.
So he consumed almost a case of beer and...
Oh, he can drink more than that.
Pay attention to Ina here. She's carefully crafting a story to deflect suspicion, but the detectives came prepared.
I've seen him drink a couple cases.
But on that day...
Yeah, it was a case of beer.
From probably 6 or 7 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, so 5 to 6 hours. Does that sound right?
Probably.
Okay. Did you drink anything else?
Just a glass of water and his tea. I made iced tea because he begged for iced tea.
They found household containers containing a bright green liquid, later analyzed as consistent with antifreeze.
So detectives know, clearly, Ina is lying through her teeth.
So I just have a lot of concerns here, okay, and I'm just going to be honest with you. You told the paramedics when they were there that morning or afternoon that he had been drinking till 5 in the morning, that he'd been consuming alcohol. That's on body cam. Okay, you said he was drinking all day the day before and that he drank his last drink at 5 a.m. Okay, and now you're telling me he didn't drink. That's not what you say on the video. Okay.
I want to see this video.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to show you the body cam. I'm just telling you that that's what's on there. There's reports that Wes came to the house that morning, and you said that Steve was at the walk-in clinic. He wasn't at the walk-in clinic.
Steve didn't want to see Wes anymore.
Okay, but Steve wasn't at the walk-in clinic.
He was at the hospital.
He wasn't at the hospital.
He just left with the ambulance when Wes showed up there.
That's not what's been reported to us. Wes was there prior to.
The timestamps for that.
I want a lawyer.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you being arrested?
Nope, you're not being arrested.
we're just talking. So, but if you want a lawyer, we can stop talking right now. That's fine.
But I'm telling you the God honest truth. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I wish I was there. I wish I was with him every second of the day that day. I wish I watched every single, but I'm not his goddamn mom.
You asked for a lawyer, Ina, so we're just gonna end this now. Okay, I'm talking anymore. All right.
You are so unbelievable.
October 30th, 2024. Ina is arrested. She denies wrongdoing, calls herself a scapegoat, worries about her dogs.
Please lock up my house.
Yeah, we'll lock up the house for you.
I'll give you the keys, but
We'll lock your house up for you.
why me?
So right now.
If we let you smoke a cigarette, you're gonna be decent?
Well, I'm decent all the time.
I never dealt with you, so just don't
Never
smash
been
it.
arrested before like this. I've never done anything. I haven't done anything. It seems like I'm an easy scapegoat. Because all I am is an easy scapegoat. That's all I've ever been. If I was gonna kill him, I would have killed him the day he lied to me and I found out he was doing drugs.
This man grab your arm so you don't fall, alright?
And I would have done it physically, not
Physically?
yeah. I'm a physical woman, not a
Nobody out here to watch the dogs? Just you? No friends or
There's only
anything?
one here.
You have any friends at work that would take them? We just don't want them to die in there, right?
Why? How long are you holding me?
We don't know. So we'll have our officers grab the dogs, we'll put a hold on them, alright?
About 6 months later, Ina accepts a plea for causing the death of Stephen Riley. Sentence, life, with earliest parole eligibility noted as 2050. She played the victim until the evidence spoke louder than her words. In this criminal documentary, truth has no mercy and no escape. Justice came late, but it came hard. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us for the next real case. This video aims to document genuine encounters between law enforcement and the public. Its purpose is not to mock, criticize, or humiliate any individuals involved. In an era of conflicting narratives and political noise, presenting these events truthfully helps viewers form a clearer, more informed understanding of real-world policing.